Hi guys, it's Mika Ray back again with my tutorial for my chair that's back there. And I'm excited to show you how I went through the process of reupholstering this chair and adding a little bit of glitter to it, but I definitely need to add more because it's not shining like my other chair. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoy it. Please comment, subscribe, share, and like the video. Bye bye. Okay, here's where I began, and what I'm doing right now is just pulling it off so you can see my chair. I made that chair a long time ago, but I just wanted a different look. I really wanted all white, little prayer space. So what I'm going to do now is place my white vinyl across the chair, and I'm kind of like tucking it in and trying to smooth it out as best way possible, fitting everything in like the little crevices. So when I start stapling, I want to staple it evenly. So as you can see, I started with the bottom to tack a lot of them in place in the front. And then the way that this chair is made, I had to pull it at the bottom and a lot of smoothing out, because honestly I should have redid my cushion, but I really didn't feel like it. So yeah, I'm doing a lot of adjustment because my cushion is a little bit off. Anyway, I'm pushing and tugging and trying to make it through. So yeah, that's what's going on. As you can see, I was trying to figure out a good way to do the side of my chair, and I went with I'm not going to say I tucked it, but I kind of tapered it to the side to where I can staple it down, and I basically did that on both sides. That way it can give it a good round front. And yeah, if I would have done it any other way, it probably wouldn't have looked as good. But anyhow, this, I'm just tacking this part, is a little tough, so I had to put extra support under this one because again, the way this bench is really a settee, it's not a couch. The way it's made, there's a piece of wood under there, so I had to pull as much as I can to get it to securely stay in place, because I really didn't want it to keep coming out. So I did add a lot of extra support. And the fun thing about using staples, you can use as many as you need, as less as you need, and not only that, they're easy to cover up. Anywho, this is me on this showing. That's my little tuck method I use over there. But anyway, I'm basically trimming the excess that I have left over, because the side of my chair, I haven't quite figured out what I want to do with the side of it yet, but I did staple it down and cut off the excess on both sides. Most likely I'll probably go back in and add a trim. And I pretty much just work my way around the chair. The way that the chair is set up in the back, it's a little awkward because it's a settee and not an actual couch. So it's a lot of open space in the back. And what I basically tried to do was cover it as much as I could with the white vinyl. This is just a piece that I have in here. It's not really used that much. And yeah, I just thought it would really be cute and creative to do something fun with it. So yeah, still working on it. As you can see, I've completed the bottom and I'm moving on to the top. I had cut mine a little too short, so what I'm doing here is I'm improvising, and I'm cutting some smaller strips to put on the back. But I wouldn't have had to do this if I had not cut my vinyl too short. But anywho, I'm pushing through. So yeah, I'm cutting these strips to fit all three of the bottom areas. And what I'm going to do with them, after I finish cutting all of them, I'm going to secure them. And you'll see how I secure them. I'm stapling them on each side, but the key to getting this one really stapled the way I needed it to, I had to use my finger to go along the outer part where the wooden piece was right outside of my fabric, existing fabric, and then I just basically tacked them around the back to hold them in place. Now what I did was fast forward to another part. As you can see, I completed 2 of them fully, but what I'm doing now is going back and I'm adding my little fur trim, which is a little white fur trim that I got from Joann, and I glued it around, as you can see. So now what I'm going to do is show you what I did to secure the top. To secure the top, I basically overlaid the panels. And I repeated the same process, but I just went up along the sides, pressing down with the staple around the wooded area right on the outside of my fabric, if that makes sense. So as you can see, I'm going along that line, and I'm pressing my fingers down as a guide so I can see and maneuver and make sure I'm stapling it in the right place. So yeah, when I get to the middle, I kind of go down some. I gotta cut it out and put little slits in there to make sure I get that piece the way I need to, because I have to do a little bit more stapling around that curve. But yeah, once I finish stapling, I cut whatever excess that I have, because remember, I'm still going to go back and trim it with the fur. And I basically use my hot glue gun to go around the edges for the fur. But anyway, I'm stapling and securing now the other side. Okay, now this piece is showing in detail how I basically do the fur, and I cut long strips of the fur. I cut the strip wide enough to go from the front to the back of the piece. So the main objective is for this fur to cover up my staples. So that's my starting point. My ending point, I just basically wrap the fur to the back of the chair. So my strips probably ended up being between 3 to 3.5, no bigger than 4 inches, to secure it from front to back on the chair. And I basically just went around, and if I didn't have enough to go from one side to the other, I just cut an extra strip. And when I did it, I made sure that extra strip was on the inside part of the chair. That way it wouldn't be showing. And to cover up my overlay for my vinyl, I cut out some strips of fur to accent the chair, to cover up the overlay, if that makes sense. There's a picture of basically the finished chair. And what I did was I added my Mod Podge and my glitter together in a little bowl, and I'm using the sponge brush to basically dab it on. I will be adding several coats to it so it can just give it a little bit of shimmer and shine, and let it pop through. And I basically repeated that at the bottom as well, and that was basically it, you guys.